She has to be able to read them. The Queen of England is an important and influential figurehead. But does what she do really affect America? And how does she relate to Americans in the political sense? According to Boundless.com, she is considered the official figurehead of England. She has a top priority job, and it can be compared to that of the president. I would like to start out by discussing how the Queen spends her days. In order to maintain respect, her role, and her country, considering she is the reigning leader, she has tightly packed days, and she doesn't get a whole lot of say of what goes on in those days. She begins her days, according to Telegraph.com, by reading the day's newspapers and headlines while eating breakfast. She then moves on to reading letters from citizens and the public. After that, she moves into her afternoon by reading official documents and having a series of meetings with both the public and private people. Then in her evenings, the Queen usually goes to events such as one that might be for one of the many non-profit organizations she sponsors. Once a week, usually a Wednesday night, the Queen meets with the Prime Minister. These meetings are totally undocumented and nothing from them is written down or recorded. They're totally private. So if the Prime Minister is so important that the Queen has to meet with him once a week, what do they do? According to the CIA, the Prime Minister's job is crucial. Great Britain runs very, very differently than America does. According to Boundless.com, that is because Great Britain has a separate head of state and head of government, whereas America has the president as both their head of state and head of government. The Queen is England's head of state, which means that she's more of a symbol than anything. She doesn't have a lot of legislative or executive power. The one with all the governmental power is the Prime Minister, which basically means that he appoints government officials and he serves in the House of Commons. This is another reason why Great Britain is considered a monarchy, because they have somebody in power who they don't vote in, royalty. And America is a democracy because we have a president who serves on the executive branch. So if the Queen does all this stuff, she needs to be paid, right? I mean, being the Queen is a job. Correct. According to the Duchy of Lancaster.com, the Queen has 3 different places of income. 1, private income, such as that from her private estates that she's inherited, like Balmoral and Sandringham castles. She's not required to release her private makings, but she does release her tax returns. 2, the privy purse, also known as the Duchy of Lancaster. The Duchy of Lancaster is basically a mass of land in southern England and Wales that is made up of agricultural and residential areas. The 3rd place you can count on income is the sovereign grant. The sovereign grant is 15% of what is made on Crown Estates, according to AboutRegentStreet.com. Crown Estates is basically a large shopping strip in London. So after hearing all of this information, let's review. The Queen is a very busy woman with her days tightly packed. But she's not working alone. She has a lot of help from the Prime Minister. She has a very important and worldly position, And I hope after hearing all of this, you can see the difference between the president and the queen, and also between a democracy and a monarchy.